Hello, we are about to start. Still have 2 more minutes. Okay, 1 more minute. All right, it's 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So today we are going to finalize our tutorial on importing multiple Excel sheets. Multiple Excel sheets and files into R. We briefly discussed and demonstrated how to do this last time, but there were a few steps that were left out. So those are what I'm going to go through right now. And then we will finally learn how to save data. We will split data or group data by former regions of South Sudan. And then that will create three new files. And then we will save those using map2, but instead of using map2, we will use work2. And we will see why we choose that. Either of them can do the job, but uh, we will use uh, work2 to save that. These are part packages, libraries, or functions. Or okay, sorry. So I'm going to share my screen now. And again, like last time, we are using R4 Data Science, second edition. And this is where we are. So I'm going to go to R Studio. And I'll zoom out a little bit. Okay. So this is what we did last time. We saved multiple sheets. We started actually by looping through using for loop. And then now we use power package mapped function to write those, to import multiple Excel sheets. And then now here, let me go back and run everything from the beginning. So we load tidyverse and read Excel. And then here we will run the files. I'll see that we have 10 files. So there are 10 states. And then, so this is what we did last time. We name our data frame as df for data frame, then the path, and then we are using mapped function. And we are using the anonymous function by putting this backward slash path read Excel. And then we are using clean underscore names from janitor package. We select the columns of interest. And then now we are doing data wrangling here. But the most important part is what is going on here. And then when we run this, we have all, these are 10 lists being pulled in. And then what we will do here, we will use list underscore r bind to combine those. And then now, so now we have a data frame of 450 observations or rows and 11 columns. But as we can see, not all of these columns are necessary. We definitely need the former region. We need the state name, region name, which is the state name. We need the variable name, which is, it has gender in there and the total rows. We will later on filter out the total rows so that we have the original data by gender, and then we can do our own summarization. And then we need the age name, which is age category. And the last column, which is 2008, which is the population column, which this is South Sudan census, 2008 census data. So, and then we cleaned this one last time, so let's run it. Okay, I need to pipe this in. And now we have cleaned our data. But what I need to show is there are times, as you can see here, the path, there are times that where the path name contains the name of a file and you want to extract that to add to your data set. So what I will do, let me say census 2008. Let's see what we have up here. I'll just copy this. And so here I will include set name. And let's run it and see what is going on there. We open it. We don't see anything. So the next thing we need to do inside set name, set underscore names, we're gonna say base name. And that will extract the URL, the path, file path. And then inside the list underscore r bind, we're gonna say names too. And we will set the names to file for the lack of better name. And then let's run it again. And then now we see that we have this new column. And this new column as the state name. So if we didn't have the state names like here, then this would have been the best way to capture this information, clean it up, and then we have a state name. So I had left out this step from the first tutorial. So I wanted to show you that you have this ability to add the path or retrieve the path name, the file path, and then extract the portion that represent or identify your data set. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show there. I'm gonna go back. The next thing to do now is to save the data. So first, let's go back to R for data science and saving multiple outputs. I'm not going to read this, but I'm just going to scroll down. The first thing we will do is to split our data set. Okay, writing CSV files. We can write them to CSV or Excel or read RDS or any other file extension. So what we will do, we will use this group underscore nest to split our data by former regions. So come back here. I'm going to add another code chunk. And to insert a code chunk, I'm on Mac. So Option Command I. On PC, I believe is Control Alt I. Or since I'm in RStudio Quadro and Visual Editor, I can press the / and then choose our code chunk. But we already have it, so there's no need. And we will pull first this data set. This data set that has been cleaned with 280 entries or observations and 5 columns. Now, what I will name this as former, let's say South Sudan former regions. So option underscore is gonna do the assignment operator. And then we are going to group underscore nest. And we are going to use this column here. So this column is going to split the data into 3 data sets. So let's run it. And we come here and we see there are three data sets being created, but they are nested under the column data. You can open one of these to see what is going on, and you see it has these are, so Lake State, these are Greater Barrel regions or states based on former region, Greater Barrel. The other thing we are going to do is we are going to create a new path where we are going to save our data. So what we are going to do, we will add a mutate function. And mutate function, we will call this a path equaled, and then we will do str glue. We will glue 2 things together. And let me go back to R for data science to show you what I'm doing. I'm just following the instructions or the process indicated here. So this is the step that I'm now on. So I'm going to create, add the path using str underscore glue. I will give it a name, and then I will pull in the extension, which is the former region will be pulled in here, so that we have three distinct file paths. So I'm going to call this one SSD 2008 underscore census, and then underscore, and then now we are pulling in the former region. It has to be a column in your data set, and it's the column that we use here. So it's this column that is what we are going to use here to create three distinct paths, and then we add the extension. So we are going to save this one as CSV files. Now let's do that. Let's run it and then come back and check what we have created. Now we have created the three paths. So the first one is SSD for South Sudan underscore 2008 underscore census underscore greater Bahr Ghazal dot CSV. This year we're supposed to add some underscores, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'll leave it as is. And then now we are ready to save our data. So we have two functions that we could use, because here our data set is made up of two columns. So it's a nested data set, but with two columns. One column here is the data itself. The second one is the path. These are the file path where we are going to save data, the name that we are going to save our data with. So we could use map2. We cannot use just map because map takes only one function. This here takes two. So take one input. This one it will take two inputs. So we can input our data. And the first part is going to be the data itself. The second part is the path where we are saving the data. And then now we need a function. The function that we are going to use, since our extension is CSV, we are going to save, just write underscore CSV. And then now we can run this and we'll save the data. So let's run it. And these are the three data sets that we have just saved. Now what you will notice with map2 is that when you save the data, it also prints out the results into the console. So here we are seeing the first data set and then the second. And so when you don't need this side effect, then you can use work2 instead of map2, and that you will not get the output. So this is based on the recommendation from the book. And basically, this is what I wanted to show you. So the authors demonstrated here that you could save the data manually by writing it like several times, but that can be overwhelming. Like if you have maybe 100 groups that you're going to create 100 subsets, data subsets, then it's not feasible to save those 100 subset manually, just one by one. That's why Map2, Work2 come in handy, and they do the job for us in just a single line of code. So this is what I wanted to share with you all this evening, and I will complete the write-up and post that on my blog. But this is being streamed on live on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So let me know if you have any questions. Let me see if there are comments. Okay, so there are no comments. And so let me know if you have any questions. But this here is going to conclude our tutorial on importing multiple Excel sheets and files into R using mapped function from Power Package. Next week, or I think next week it's going to be Christmas, but the next tutorial will be just importing single files, whether they are Excel files or CSV files, into R, so that we can complete the data import and move on to the other topics. So thank you all. I'll talk to you next time. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channels, LRY Data Studio and Jonglei Institute. Also connect with us on LinkedIn and follow us on Facebook. Take care. Have a good evening.